So I'm really curious what all you guys think of this clip, because I have some feelings. I have some thoughts on it. So Andrew Schulz had on Bernie Sanders on his show recently. And I think Bernie generally does a great job when he goes on like the Broy podcast. He finds a way to make leftism palatable to people who otherwise are snuggling up to the right these days. I have some critiques of how he handled that interview here and there. But broadly speaking, positive impact overall. Okay, so since that podcast, clearly Andrew Schulz has been thinking about some of the stuff he's been saying. And Charlamagne, of course, host on The Breakfast Club. He also fills in for The Daily Show from time to time. They're having a conversation here about politics, and I did not have this on my bingo card, the stuff that they end up saying here. Let's watch. Listen to this.
You know what your reflection is? And Bernie said it on Flagrant. Everybody's to fucking blame. This ain't a Democrat thing. It's not a Republican thing. This is government has failed the people. We live in a capitalist society where you got all of these motherfuckers with all the wealth. Elon Musk has more wealth than more than half of the bottom of America? Yeah. Like, come on. Yep. Like, there's no way we live in a society that claims to be the most wealthiest society on the planet and we can't fix homelessness.
Well, in that case, the Democrats' pivot should be to go more socialist.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with.
Yes, they should.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's saying.
Bernie.
That's what everybody's saying.
Because the Republican solution to what you just described is going to be
deregulate
more capitalism.
All right, so first of all, let me just say, this guy right here in the bottom right corner of the screen, he's the real MVP of this video, because he just boiled it down to its pure ingredients and said, well, the answer is more socialism. The Democrats should be more socialist. So this guy's based as fuck. I love the reaction of the producer here, too. I'm going to play it for you one more time, because watch the reaction of the producer. As if to be like, obviously that's correct.
Well, in that case, the Democrats' pivot should be to go more.
So look at the guy wearing the Yankees hat. That producer. Watch.
Socialist.
Yeah,
which I'm fine with.
Yes, they should. That's what
And
everybody's
that's
saying.
Bernie.
That's what everybody's saying.
Because the Republican solution to what you just described is going to be
deregulate
more capitalism, deregulation.
This clip is largely correct. It's largely correct. The point that's not true is at the beginning. And it kind of triggers me to no end these days, because I really don't like, given the speed with which the Trump people are moving and how everything they're doing is fucking horrible for the country. It is not a tenable position to say both parties are the same. That is just factually not accurate. You have under Biden, for example, he did a great job with the NLRB and union policies. He did when it came to the CHIPS Act, when it came to the Inflation Reduction Act, when it came to the infrastructure bill. They were creating 800,000 manufacturing jobs. So to say that party is the same as the one who Trump in his first term lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs and we're losing more now. Those things are not the same. And that's just one example. Biden signed an executive order to raise the minimum wage for federal contractors and employees. It impacted hundreds of thousands of workers. Trump literally signed an executive order to revoke that and lower the pay of those people. It's not the same. Stop saying it's not the same. It's just not. And it's the lazy, like, I don't follow this stuff closely, both sidesism that triggers me to no end these days. So that very first part is not true. You have to be willing to say, yes, the Democrats are way better than the Republicans, and it's actually not particularly close. Now, having said that, do the Democrats massively fall short of where they need to be? Yes, they do. You have to say that first part, but on the second part, yes, they fall short. And there's a lot of criticisms of Biden arming and funding the genocide in Gaza, for one, but there's a bunch of them that we can make, which are really substantive criticisms. But the second part of the clip, that is undeniably accurate. And all it took was one conversation with Bernie Sanders. And now these guys are like, well, hold on. Can we do socialism? Is socialism on the menu? Can we do socialism? Can we do a massive redistribution of wealth from the robber barons and the billionaires and the plutocrats and give that money in the form of a great social safety net to working class people? Can we do universal health care? Can we do free college? Can we wipe out the medical debt? Can we wipe out the student loan debt? Can we have unionization rates and a higher minimum wage? One conversation with Bernie, and now everybody in that room is like, so actually the Democrats should become more socialist, not less socialist. And the reaction of the producer was like, yeah, let's do that. And one of them was like, I have no problem with it. And Schulz was like, yeah, that's a great idea. So I love that. But here comes the main point, y'all. And I know you know it's coming. My fear is all the people, except for the producers who I think are genuine and based as fuck, But Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne, more Andrew Schulz, Charlamagne to a lesser degree, I fear he's going to go right back in the next episode and then the one after that. And for the next 2 years, 3 years, it will be more criticism of Democrats than Republicans, right? And if the Democrats were to actually do the right thing, which is go more socialist, what would they do? The right would hit you with a tsunami of propaganda and misinformation. Bernie Sanders wants to take 90 cents on every dollar you make, bro. He wants to punish success. Do you want everybody to be poor? Because that's what's going to happen under Bernie Sanders policies. And unfortunately, what I see in this podcast space so often is that so many of them get duped by conservative propaganda, where all it takes is one peep of criticism of the Democrats and one news cycle where all the Republican politicians hammer away and move the poll numbers on it. And suddenly they view it as a good faith criticism and they think, well, maybe there's some truth in what the Republicans are saying about the Democrats here. And maybe going socialist is actually not a great idea, right? Because it's Andrew Schulz. What did he say on that podcast recently? That I used to be a Democrat because Democrats got pussy and said whatever they want. Now it's the Republicans who get pussy and say whatever they want. So if the Democrats want me back, tell me, or you get some pussy and tell me to say whatever I want. Like the fucking thinking of like a 15-year-old or some shit stuck in that mindset. And so I just think it's way too easy for these people to just, boom, snap right back into what they were doing the entire Trump era so far, which is the jiu-jitsu argument of, actually, let's focus on the Democrats and shit on them nonstop and give the Republicans largely a pass for all the shit they do. Because that's the other thing, is I never see the sort of like visceral criticism that they give to Democrats, right? Where all these podcasts are more than happy to beat up on Democrats all day, every day. They don't do 1/10 that for Trump. Like, these people don't talk all the time about Trump's crypto scam that he ran on his own supporters. They don't talk about Jared Kushner taking $2 billion from Saudi Arabia. They will talk about Hunter Biden and his Ukraine corruption, right? They will talk about Hillary Clinton and her corruption. But Trump taking $160 million from foreign governments while president, not a fucking peep, right? And so there's a focus issue here too. And I don't know, I'll ask you guys, am I being too harsh? Because the clip, they were mostly correct in the clip, and they're saying the right things. Like, yeah, actually, the Democrats need to move further left. That's right. But the other thing is, you guys know they do this all the time, is like, if the Democrats move further left, the right is going to say, they're being more woke now, and that's actually bad. And then a lot of these podcasts go right down that pipeline of like, yeah, the wokeness is so bad, bro. Let's talk about the wokeness for 87 hours straight. And that's the other concern, is like, you say they should go further left, but that will be attacked as them being more woke. And like, how are you going to deal with that criticism? Because I don't see them presenting a united front. Well, they'll slap down the right and be like, you're a bunch of fucking liars. And it's not woke to do universal health care. It's not woke to raise wages. It's not woke to end the wars, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right? So I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I'll say this. If Andrew Schulz and Charlamagne continue to make left-wing arguments, right? Continue to make the right points, continue to move society and culture in the correct direction, I will come out here and do more coverage of them, and I will tell you that they're making some based-ass arguments, and they destroyed this person in a debate, and they destroyed that person in a debate, if they keep doing that. But my concern is, a week after saying this, there's going to be some show where it's shitting on the Democrats and not talking about Trump's immense corruption, not talking about his immense warmongering, not talking about his war on the working class. Like, have they talked about the massive Medicaid cuts in this bill that Trump wants passed? It basically destroys Medicaid and rips healthcare away from millions of low-income people and disabled people. Have they talked about that? Because that's the thing, is I feel like the Republicans act like literal fucking demons, and they largely get away with it because in the podcast space, they're so focused on the flaws of the Democrats, even under a Republican dominant trifecta, right? You have the House, you have the Senate, you have the White House, you even have the courts. Like, are you going to focus on the things that are fucking destroying the country right now that the Republicans are doing, or no? Right? So, I don't know. I'm curious if I'm being too harsh. I'm curious if I'm going too far. Should I just take the win, take the clip for what it is, and take it as a good faith effort where they will keep moving in a left-wing direction and keep saying the right things? Or is it going to be what I fear it is? Right? Because this is what Rogan does this shit too, right? He'll come out there every now and then and be, man, I don't think it's a good idea to rip up the Constitution and not have any due process for people and ship them to a slave labor gulag in El Salvador. I think that's bad, bro. And then in the next episode, it's wall-to-wall criticism of Democrats, support of Trump. And it's like, do you not remember that you just said this motherfucker is destroying the Constitution? Do you not remember that you just said he stripped away due process and he's sending people to a concentration camp in El Salvador? Like, the way they go back, forth. It's like, do you mean the shit or not? If you mean the shit, then that requires more than a one offhanded comment where you don't even mention Trump's fucking name. That requires a much longer conversation. That requires much more coverage, a very visceral, over-the-top, direct criticism where you say, I'm done with these fucking people. They're monsters. They're fascists. I'm fucking done with them. And it just doesn't happen, right? So I fear after this comes a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month of right back to the same old bullshit talking point about wokeness being stupid and hyper-criticism of the Democrats and largely letting the Republicans get a pass. And so ultimately the clip would come to naught. But maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I'm going too far. Maybe it is a sign of a genuine change. That's the other thing. It's possible that now you see the vibes have shifted. The wave now is people realizing, oh shit, the Republicans and Elon Musk and Trump are destroying the country. And since the vibes online have shifted and people are opening their eyes to what's happening, this might be a little bit of the, where are the winds going? What are the vibes doing? Right? And in that scenario, then you have license to make the right criticisms and make the right points. But, I'm sitting here like, where the fuck were you when it was hard to make these arguments? Where were you when there were like 3 people saying it? Where were you when I was saying this shit? People were fucking nowhere, right? They were riding Trump's nuts. They were riding his nuts. He was sitting around giggling with Trump, letting him get away with lie after lie. So I don't know. Am I being too harsh? Or am I not being harsh enough? You guys tell me. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.